over the territory in recent weeks, involving hot stuff Eddie Gilbert and this man coming right here. The one and only King, Jerry Lawler. Boy, look at the greeting from the fans as the King heads around this way. Want to get him over here to talk just a bit about the situation with Eddie Gilbert. We got some videotape we want to show you, too, about some of the action. He'll have some things to say about that. We'll both talk about some action that happened. We've even got some kind of fan video to show you. Jerry was just talking a little bit about this situation that's been going on with Gilbert the last few weeks.
Well, I want to tell you, it is really starting to get out of hand now. I don't know if you could, I sometimes try to hide it as best I can, but I don't know how much more my legs are going to be able to take of this situation. Now, you know, everybody saw what happened a couple of weeks ago with the car in the parking lot.
Yeah.
You know, I thought maybe that would be the end of this guy's devious stunts, but it seems that there is no end to what Eddie Gilbert will try to pull. Now, last week we had a match in Memphis, Tennessee, where and this was his idea. He wanted to have this match where an ambulance was going to be brought to ringside, and somebody was going to have to go. I mean, the match was going to continue until somebody had to be put in the ambulance. It's the only way you're going to have to leave the ring. Now, we're going to show just a little bit of the video of what happened to this, but I want everybody to realize just what Eddie Gilbert had in mind in this match. I mean, he, you know, a couple of weeks ago he runs over me in a car, and this week he goes out in this match with the full intentions of trying to put something in my eyes that was going to either permanently blind somebody or do some serious damage to their vision. Fortunately for me, that it backfired on him. But just watch this piece of video, and then I want to tell you what he pulled after this. It's
all right,
ridiculous.
Let's watch this tape from.
Lawler fires Gilbert right over the railing into the table. Lawler, picking Gilbert back up, runs his head right into that metal ring pole.
Lawler setting him up for a DDT on a chair. Lawler wants to end this match early. Nails him with it.
Picks him up. Gotta go for it, and just runs his head right down into the mat and hard.
This has gone way beyond any wrestling, way beyond winning any match. They're into hurting people. And Gilbert nails Lawler with one of Sam Bass's boots.
Eddie Gilbert wanting the ambulance caught in for Lawler. As Gilbert picks Lawler up, setting him up for the pile driver. Rams his head down into the mat.
Gilbert fires a vicious left. Gilbert is boxing with Lawler. Firing in with left and right. Lawler pulls the strap down, saying, "Come on, Gilbert, take your best shot, and here's mine."
But Gilbert just runs Lawler right into Calhoun. Lawler's head just nailed Calhoun's, both of them down. Sam Lowe crawling up in here. Pulling something out of his pocket, I can't tell what. Lawler being held up by Gilbert now. Sam Lowe just squirts hot stuff Eddie Gilbert in the eyes.
Calhoun saying, "Sam, you want the ambulance?" Sam said, "Yes, he wants it." Sam Bass said, "Yeah, bring that ambulance out here."
Eddie Gilbert being put on the stretcher now. Sam Lowe gonna go out with him.
Well, there they go. But as the announcer said, I think it's going way beyond a wrestling match now.
Well, without a doubt. You know, I also want to thank the people from Medic Ambulance for supplying him with that courteous ride there. But then, you know, as you said, things just keep on happening. It's like this guy is obsessed. I mentioned this once before, like sometimes there are obsessed fans who, you know, you've seen some of the things that they've done out in Hollywood where these people are so obsessed that they want to try to take the life of the person that they really are a fan of. Well, it's like Eddie Gilbert has followed my career, and he seems like he's trying to pattern himself after me, but also it's like he seems bent on destroying or getting me out of the way. I mean, here he comes with this jerk, Sam Lowe, and he's trying to take the name of my former manager, Sam Bass, and say that now that that's his manager, Sam Bass, and things like that. I don't know what's wrong with the guy. After what took place in Memphis, I was supposed to wrestle him on the following Tuesday in Trenton, Tennessee. I go to Trenton, Tennessee. They bring out Eddie Gilbert. He has patches over his eyes, the sunglasses on. They said he can't wrestle. His vision is, they said he's blinded from the stuff that he tried to pour in my eyes, so he wasn't able to wrestle. So then, last night, I go to a city up in Missouri, and I'm supposed to wrestle Eddie Gilbert again there in the small town of Missouri, and the same situation. Eddie Gilbert comes out to the ring. He's got the patches on his eyes. He's got the sunglasses on. They said he's unable to wrestle, so they substitute his brother Doug. Now, I went in there to wrestle Doug Gilbert, and because we got another little, I wanted to show everybody here what took place. This was just happened last night in, I think it was called Portageville, Missouri. Now, another unusual situation, because this thing really gets wild and hairy at the end. Jerry Calhoun was refereeing the match, but or was supposed to referee the match. The match before that, he was kind of knocked out of commission there, and Greg Wayne, Ken Wayne's brother, Buddy Wayne's son, who has refereed before, he comes in and he's refereeing this match, and there's something a little shaky between he and Eddie Gilbert there at the end, because I had Doug Gilbert pinned, and this jerk wouldn't count. And so everything got out of hand. We'll just go ahead and roll this film, and we'll explain it as we go along.
We'll talk about it as we go along. Let's take a look at it. I must say, too, that
this is last night in Missouri. Watch this.
Portageville, Missouri, yeah. All right, there you are.
Sam Bass, or Sam Lowe, had given Doug Gilbert a chain at this point. And if we can have, do we have any sound? Is there any sound? I guess there's some sound on the video, the crowd noise or whatever. But anyway, as you can see, I had him going my way with the chain at this point. Now, look. There's Greg Wayne. I got the guy covered, and he won't count.
Got at least a 3 count, maybe an 8 there.
So now, as you can see, here comes Eddie Gilbert. He's taking the patches off his eyes. He's taking off the sunglasses. He comes in the ring with a chair, and there's the Sam Lowe or Sam Bass, whatever they want to call it. And this is where these guys, and it's obvious. He said it right here. He said, "I'm going to re-break his leg." So, I mean, the guy's now, he's trying to, he knows I've had a leg broken before. He knows it was hurt again with the car. So now he's going to work on my leg, and you're going to see the number that he does here with the chair in just a minute. But the interesting situation about this, there were a couple of guys back in the dressing room that could have helped me, but Brian Lee and Don Harris and Downtown Bruno came out of the other dressing room, and they're blocking the doorway over here so that these guys can't get out to come and help me. Well, then Danny Davis was back there who could have helped me, but then they let Brickhouse Brown through. Now, Brickhouse was able to come in and help me for a second, but as you can see, they had a reason for that. They had a reason for letting him through, because now Dirty White Boy comes out, and he's got like a hangman's noose. He's got this rope tied into a hangman's noose, and there, as you can see, he puts it around Brickhouse's neck and throws him over the top rope and just literally tries to hang the guy out there, So, I mean, it just got worse. They ripped the tights. They're banging on my leg. With the Sam Lowe holding.
Yeah, and that's Eddie Gilbert with a chair there.
Yeah, and watch it. Here's this little jerk, Greg Wayne, just standing over in the corner there, just watching. See, look at this.
Yeah, you're right. He just backed out of it as a spectator.
And Eddie Marlin was there. Jerry Calhoun, I think, comes out here in just a minute. Yeah, okay. Jerry Calhoun comes out and tries to stop. Now watch it. Look at this punk, Greg Wayne.
Pulls Calhoun out of the way.
He's snatching Calhoun around. I mean, I don't know what, I don't know what look, there's now this jerk Greg Wayne is hitting on a Calhoun. You're going to see Eddie Marlin is going to try to come in here and get this thing stopped in a minute. And I mean, it was the wildest situation, the craziest thing I've ever been involved in. Because then not only does, once Eddie Marlin comes in to stop this Greg Wayne, his father, Greg Wayne's father, Buddy Wayne, is there, and then he's going to come in and jump on Eddie Marlin. It was the craziest thing, and all I can tell you is that the more I think about it last night, this had to be the whole thing. Eddie Gilbert had to get with every one of these guys and have this thing set up from the minute we got there. I mean, he said he had to tell him, look, we're going to jump this guy as soon as we get him in the position we want him in. I'm going to go out there with my patches on. Hey, look at this. Buddy Wayne comes in punching Eddie Marlin because he said, "Don't put your hands on my son," right? So, I mean, you know, it was a real bad situation.
It was.
As is the whole thing with Eddie Gilbert. And what finally resulted from this, one good thing that resulted from this was Eddie Marlin told Eddie Gilbert last night that he was not allowed in the studios today. So
exactly right. He's not allowed out here.
Exactly. So, and hopefully that'll continue. You know, if he wants to have his piece, he'll have to send in an interview or whatever, and that's exactly what he deserves to have happen to him.
Well, it is because he interferes every time he's around, and not only interferes, but as you say, he tries to hurt you.
Well, all I can say is, I mean, you know, that's as you can see. You know, they left Eddie Marlin, Jerry Calhoun, myself, and Brickhouse Brown all basically laying in the ring. It's one of their, you know, another one of their plots. Well, let me just tell you something, Eddie Gilbert. I'll make this short and sweet. I got friends, too. I see that you got back in the dressing room and you got all your cronies together and you masterminded a little plot and it worked pretty well. You won the battle, but as has been said a lot of times before, you haven't won the war because I'm still able to walk out here and I'm going to be able to walk into that ring with you this week. And I'm telling you this right now, Eddie Gilbert. I'm going at you this week with one intention in mind, the same thing that you've been trying to do to me, and that's cripple somebody and put them out of wrestling for good, where I can get you out of my hair and I don't have to worry about you anymore, because I have had it up to here with you, Eddie Gilbert, and your whole stinking family. You know, I think it was a deal somewhere down the line where Eddie Gilbert had aided him because his father, Tommy, never quite lived up to the potential that he thought he had. And now maybe, Eddie Gilbert, you're not able, you and your little punk brother aren't quite able to live up to the potential that you think you have. Well, I don't care what kind of potential you think you have. You're not going to take it out on me, the fact that you got shortcomings. What's going to happen from now on is, punk, every time I get within arm's reach of you, I'm going to hurt you, and I'm going to hurt you bad, and I'm going to start on it this week, and that's a promise.
There's a man who can back up what he...